Jake immediately got into the bathroom not far from him and closed the door. Seeing the clothes worn by Julianne, Serena was speechless. The little girl's head in one hand reached out of the neckline, and her arm was in the other sleeve. Grabbing her dress under the armpits, she gazed at her mother with eyes wet. Julianne didn't realize that there was another man just now. Pouting, she complained,
"It's hard to put on clothes."
Serena went down and pulled her hand up, gently blocking the neckline with her hand in case the clothes rubbed the child's skin, whispering, "Come, reach up, right? Inside here." After guiding the child to take it off, Serena redressed her. After she was done, she tapped her little nose and picked her up. "Mom will take you back to sleep."
"Oh."
Julianne finally got her clothes on, still somewhat dejected. She asked,
"Where's Dad?"
"Dad is in the bathroom. Julianne, be good and go back to sleep. Dad will take us on a family trip tomorrow, all right?"
"Great!"
Julianne finally recovered and let Serena carry her to her room. Jeremy and Seth were sitting on the floor playing puzzles, which were placed on the bed. Serena put Julianne on the bed, which they were using as a table. The little girl began to watch happily. Serena looked at the time, and it was already 20:39. Sitting in the bed next to them for a while, she stayed until 9 o'clock. She then confiscated their puzzles and placed them on the high shelf. Warning: go to sleep now, all of you. Get up early tomorrow morning and we will go out together.
"Awesome!"
Julianne cheered.
"Where are we going?"
"We will let Dad take us, okay? So you go to bed now and get up at 6 in the morning, okay?"
"Yeah."
Seth also responded. Jeremy did not speak, but his pair of dark and clear eyes were full of expectations. Serena's heart was softened. She turned off the light. "Good night."
"Good night, Mom." "Good night, Auntie." "Good night."
Serena closed the door. Suddenly, her heartbeat was a little faster. She was now going back to the room, thinking of the enthusiasm of Jake. Serena's face could not help but burn red. Going to the door of their bedroom, she took a deep breath and then turned the doorknob lightly to open the door. Inside, it was dark and air-conditioned. She closed the door and went in after locking it. It was dark inside, and even the curtains were pulled close. She couldn't see anything. Serena took off her shoes and climbed up on the bed, whispering. Her voice was so small, as if she was a thief. No response. When Serena just sat on the bed, she suddenly was thrown down. A pair of big hands were tickling on her waist. Serena laughed and said, "No tickling! Her mouth was sealed, and Serena felt that even her breath was taken away. His kisses were fiery and wild, with undisguised enthusiasm. It had been 4 years. For 4 years he had lived like a monk with utmost self-control and self-discipline. He was even amazed by his own passion. It had been 4 years. For 4 years he had lived like a monk with utmost self-control and self-discipline. Every time he thought of her, he felt like it was impossible to control himself. Miss her, miss her, miss her. He missed her face, her smile, her mood, and her body. His fiery lips moved down, falling to her neck and collarbone, gently sucking and spinning. His moves were wild and tender at the same time, with an unparalleled enthusiasm. The strong and powerful arm wrapped around her waist, lifting her up, holding her back to lift her. He was so eager that he was going crazy. Peeling off her night dress, he bowed down to suck on the white and tender skin. Serena was shaking, holding him and breathing heavily. The feeling of numbness came, making her hold his neck involuntarily. "Be gentle. I miss you." Jake pulled her down and kissed her earlobe, gently caressing and savoring it. The big hands kept moving, separating her clenched legs, squeezing himself in, gently grinding and tearing off the last layer of fabric. With a thrust, the long-lost feeling made Serena moan. Tightening her arms around him, she groaned. "It hurts." Jake gasped and stopped. Once again, the hot kisses were overwhelming. She couldn't help but lift her legs and wrap them around his waist, responding, "I miss you too." Jake couldn't help it anymore, holding her and venting madly. Serena thought he must be crazy. Almost all night, he never stopped. "Darling, it hurts." "Be good. Wait for me." "I'm sleepy, Mr. Robinson." "Sleep first, sweetheart." "Stop, Jake." "Be good. Don't move." At the end of the day, she had completely lost her mind. She had promised to take the children out. She had already set the alarm for 6 o'clock. After sleeping for a little while, she heard the alarm going off. When she tried to move, her entire body was almost falling apart. A big hand was placed on her. Noticing her movements, it turned off the alarm and pressed her down. He said decisively, "Wait some more." She also wanted to, but she had promised the children that she would bring them out today. Taking his hand off, she tried to get up. Jake pulled her up and whispered into her ear, "If you're feeling it, shall we continue?" "Nope." She pushed him and her cheeks were red. "You are insane." Jake chuckled and pressed her down. He whispered, "Go back to sleep, at least for another half an hour." The children usually woke up at 6 o'clock. She thought about it and laid back. "Wake me up later." "Okay, sleep now." Jake tucked her in. Soon she fell asleep again. She was really exhausted. Jake suddenly felt that he was a beast. How could he lose his control? Holding her with his eyes closed, he thought, her charm is to blame. Jake slept for a while, and when he woke up, it was almost 6:30. Serena was really tired and still sound asleep. Hearing her breathing evenly, Jake gently kissed her lips, quietly got up, and went into the bathroom. Seeing the toiletries inside looking a bit old, he recognized them to be his old belongings. A bit dazed, Jake felt his heart was hurting with a warm pain. Throwing away those things and replacing them with new ones, he went out after washing and dressing. The children were running around in the living room. Seeing him coming out, Julianne widened her big eyes and asked,
"Dad, where's Mom?"
"Your mother is tired. Let her sleep more." The old man was drinking water, and when he heard this, he sprayed out a mouthful of water and his face was red.